freedom comes responsibility. Your decision to be unvaccinated impacts someone else. Unvaccinated people spread the virus.
President Biden invoking freedom as he pushes vaccine initiatives and even offering Americans up to $100 to get the shot.
So weird. This is mask mandates return for many in this country, including for the fully vaccinated. Figure that out.
Here with reaction, the host of the Ben Shapiro Show and author of the brand new book, The Authoritarian Moment, Ben Shapiro joins us. Hey, Ben, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning.
You know, the White House has got a messaging problem. There are 90 million unvaccinated Americans. Yesterday, the president made the case everybody who can needs to get vaccinated. And until then, people need to wear a mask even though they've had vaccinations, even though he said get the shot and then you don't have to wear it. So they've got a messaging problem, which they invented themselves.
That's exactly right. The public health experts here have completely failed when it comes to messaging this thing. Here is the reality. If you have had the vaccine, you're extremely safe from COVID at this point. There have been 161 million people in the United States who have been double vaxxed at this point. There are 6,000 people who have had breakthrough infections resulting in hospitalizations, and about 1,700 people who have died after that, which means that your chances of even being hospitalized with COVID after getting the vaccine are somewhere around 1 in 27,000 in the United States. And now they are saying that the vaccinated are supposed to mask up to prevent the unvaccinated from getting the disease. Well, there's only one problem with that. That actually encourages the unvaccinated to remain unvaccinated because everybody else is now working to prevent them from getting the infection. Everybody's going to get infected. Look, there are only two paths here. One is you get vaccinated, you get immune that way. The other is you get COVID and you get immune that way. Everybody now gets to choose. That's called being an adult.
Yeah, I think that's key. And plus, 74% of the people that do have breakthroughs are over 65. So that further lessens the chances, depending on your age bracket in life. And most seniors have gotten vaccinated already. Yesterday's stage show was really anxiety-ridden because now we're re-empowering the mayors and governors who tortured us last year, especially the state you just left in California.
It's madness. I mean, Washington, D.C. just announced these new mask mandates. Washington, D.C. has a running average of zero COVID deaths every day.
Right.
Los Angeles County, which is a county of like 10 million people, Los Angeles County has single-digit COVID deaths every day. Looking at the case rate doesn't make a difference. Looking at the death rate makes the difference. This is the whole this is the reason people are supposed to get vaccinated, is because we have now disconnected the case rate from the death rate.
Right.
But if we're only going to just focus in on the case rate and not on the death rate, who's going to get vaccinated?
It's such a great point, Ben. I want to get to your book because I think we are in an authoritarian moment. I think it's a really, really great title. Here's an excerpt from it. A small number of leftists, college-educated, coastal, and uncompromising, have not just taken over the Democrat Party, but our corporations, our universities, our scientific establishment, our cultural institutions, and they have used their newfound power to silence their opposition. Ben, movement conservatives like you have been talking about the takeover by the left of the culture, of Hollywood, of education. I've been really surprised at how thoroughly they've infiltrated government, you know, the national security, and now the military. Talk to me about this authoritarian movement, but also about what's the solution to this?
Well, I think that to understand the solution, we have to understand that the way that these institutions were taken over is you need a very hard core of about 20% of a group, 20% of any group inside an institution that is uncompromising and insists on getting its way. And you need a bunch of people in the middle who are just apathetic or who are shy. And that's what's happened in all of these institutions. Well, the good news is that you can do it in reverse. If 20% of a corporation, 20% of the employees get together and they say, we are not doing X, in opposition to the left, then they can swing that middle back the other way and you can return neutrality to some of these institutions. But that requires some actual organization. It requires almost a political unionization movement by conservatives or moderates in a variety of areas of American life. If that doesn't happen, the left's going to continue its march through the institutions.
Well, check out the book. It is now available everywhere. I'm sure it's going to be a big #1 New York Times bestseller. It's called The Authoritarian Movement. Ben Shapiro, thank you very much for joining us live from down in Florida.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Thank you, Ben.